Hi there.
Hey, Steph.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I needed to get my drink. Do you guys have your drink on?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Amy and Sonia and Sam. I'm unmuting you guys right now. Amy, I see you're still muted, but how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Oh, you got some sunlight back there.
Yeah, I
Amy,
know.
great.
It's right next to a darn window.
No, it's good. It's like I've been trying to rearrange the whole time here. So, no, that's great to have a little natural light
Yeah.
that you can use. I'm going to ask you guys. Oh, look, the doggy. Yay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting some feedback there. Okay. I might just mute you guys right now. Hi, welcome. I'm going to kind of mute all of you again. But what I'm going to encourage you all to do is in the chat. Can you guys all hear me okay? Wave hi if you can hear me. Hi. I'm going to be asking you guys, I'm going to ask everybody, but since you guys are, well, we'll start in a few minutes. And Sonia, hi. I like your earrings, Sonia. I'm going to compliment everything. I got some natural light. Sam, do you go by Sam or Samantha? Oh, let me unmute you.
Sam.
Sam's fine? Okay, great. Welcome. I want to make sure you guys all have your chat box open if you know how to do that, because depending on number, we're going to do a lot through there. I want to make sure you all have your beverage of choice.
I wish we had like warm-up music that we could like play. I feel like I need a song or something.
Next time, Jill.
Okay.
There's a way to do that, but
okay.
Next time. But
we're learning.
Yeah, we're definitely learning. Yeah, definitely next time we can have some groove music on.
Yeah, I would say what I've learned is like typically people are taking like 5 to 10 minutes to kind of roll in. So we got to do some kind of like fun.
I know. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. But what I can do right now, everybody, because for those that are punctual, like all of you, if we were having a live happy hour in person, what I would do is I'd be going to welcome. We're going to make name tags because that's what we do. But I always have a beginning question for everybody. So to put on their name tag. So your name tag, and this is a way to get to know each other. So I'm going to put it in the chat, and you'll be hearing me say this a couple times, but so welcome to Death Overdraft. So everybody can open up their chat room. I'm going to ask everybody to just put their name, where you're physically located, and right now, how does COVID-19 make you feel? Originally, this was supposed to be A, B, C, D, and E. I just wasn't able to cut and paste it in it. But A, anxious. I don't have enough wipes. B, I'm feeling sad. 6 feet is a huge distance. All I want to do is hug people. Oh, and on top of that, some people will not even look at me when I say hi to them as I walk my dog. I don't know if you guys have experienced that.
I don't know.
C, angry. I wish I could do more. And why are people going to the beach? I don't know if that's some of the things that make you angry. Or what makes you feel grateful. I was able to teach my parents how to use Zoom. D or E, all the above or none of the above. Now, these are just kind of fun answers, but you can really answer it for whatever works for you. These aren't, it's kind of prompts, if you will, so you don't have to fit into all those categories. But that's basically what I'm asking people is, how are you feeling right now? And this is kind of just a kitschy way for me to kind of get started and checking in with all of you about your name, where you physically located, and how you're feeling right now in the middle of all this COVID-19. So when people start kind of coming in, I'm going to be checking in with everybody. That's kind of the first check-in we're going to do. Thanks, Jill. And Jill, you're in Los Angeles. Yes, I know you're in Los Angeles. Amy, you're Long Beach. Rocio. So yeah, when everybody wants to do in the chat, that would be excellent.
typically we like do this in breweries too, because our like biggest, that's how it kind of all started, right, Steph? We just really like craft beer and going to breweries, and we were having these conversations always, but it was also a way that we could support local craft beer. So if you're into that, like there are still ways that you can do it. I know like Modern Times is delivering. A lot of them are doing deliveries now. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So we'll wait for a couple more people to kind of jump on here, and then we'll kind of share.
Yeah.
I think everybody will kind of do it. Let's see if I can see everybody that's coming on.
Here's happy hour. I know, yeah.
Oh, there we go. I see everybody. Oh, there's Julia. Hi. Sonia, I got some new faces. I love it. They're Julia, Jill. Hi.
Yeah, this is exciting.
I got a hi out of Jill. I needed to see. We got two Jills on. We got Jill Schock and Jill McKinnon. Do either of you have nicknames? Jill McLennan, do you have a nickname, or do you just go by Jill because there's another Jill on the line?
Just Jill.
Just Jill. Okay.
Just
Same.
Jill. Okay. We got Matt. Look at your backdrop. I was looking to get a green screen today, but it wasn't going to happen. I don't know if any of you guys have played with the virtual background.
That sounds like fun though.
Yeah. Hi, Christina. Welcome. We got a lot of the West Coast covered from Toronto. No, excuse me. Vancouver. We got Vancouver. Right? Christina's in Vancouver.
Sorry, I forgot.
Matt's in
I was
Portland.
also paying attention to the chat. Okay.
Yeah, welcome.
Philadelphia.
What's up?
Julia, hey.
Hey, how are you?
Everybody. So glad to see so many new faces that wanted to join us today, or this happy hour, if you will.
Yeah.
What I was starting to kind of share, I hope everybody's muted right now, but we'll kind of unmute as we go.
Yeah. I see Sonia, her family's still working. So many people, many people are still working. So it's like one of my anxieties is like, how is the virus going to get into my house somehow? Yeah.
So what we're doing right now is welcome everybody to this online happy hour. If we were all in person, I would make sure to say hello, welcome. Jill and I would be there with, hey, beer in hand or alcoholic choice in hand. Great.
Much needed.
And we would welcome you, and then we would we have name tags. I'm a name tag person, but now I have your names on here.
You love a good name tag.
I do love a good name tag. And so on that name tag, and you see everybody have your chat box open.
Thomas!
Is please add like your name, somewhere you're doing it, where you physically located. And right now, how does COVID-19 make you feel? Basically, I had you see the tidbits in chat. This is kind of a prompt more than a, steadfast A, B, C, D, or E there. But right now, COVID makes me feel A, anxious. I don't have enough wipes.
Hey.
B, sad.
Betsy.
B, sad. 6 feet is a huge distance. All I want to do is hug people. C, angry. I wish I could do more. And why are people going to the beach?
So I want to.
Wait. Sorry. Let me just.
I was like, what?
Yeah. Angry. And D, grateful. I am able to teach my parents how to use Zoom. And E, all the above. But I think it's now 5:03. And we're going to start with a quick raise the glasses. I think we have a lot of people joining us to hear right now. A lot of you guys are already on mute right now. I'm gonna ask for a cheers and a smile because that's what Jill and I are here. We're here for cheers and a kind of a first minute smile.
Oh my gosh!
Welcome everybody to so many of you. Thank you for being here.
And first official digital death overdraft. This is like so weird and surreal and cool. Like cheers to that too.
Yeah, cheers. So what we're gonna kind of do with our sorry. So what we're going to do here today, so glad so many of you are here. The Death Overdraft Happy Hour really started with Jill and I. A lot of you came through, know her and been following her, Death Doula LA. We started at the Reimagine Festival that was up in San Francisco in October. And that's kind of a larger framework from even what we're doing here in this movement of talking about death and dying and being creative in this space. And so there's so much wonderful activity, and we're going to all kind of get to know each other in a little bit. What?
Can I also, like, can you tell them that powerful experience that we had in San Francisco really fast? Because that was like one of the most powerful things I'd ever.
Cool. Yeah.
Like how it was an actual, it was a real funeral. It turned into a funeral.
Yeah. So thank you, Jill. So
yeah,
we were one, and that's where I originally met Christina. She's all of you, I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit from all of you. I'm just trying to give context here. So we hosted a Death Over Draft happy hour in person, and it's about creating our passions, beer drinking, and holding conversations around end of life, death, and dying. And a lot of these workshops that were part of this, raise your hand if you heard about Reimagine, just so I can get a sense. So it's the fourth year that it's been going on in San Francisco, New York, and it's been constantly moving on. But it's really for the public to come to these community events. So over 200 events, we are hosting a happy hour one. And we had some individuals that weren't really in the end of life community, but it was a woman in her early 30s. We found out like the day before, so we didn't even really know. And she basically signed up because it was a anniversary. It was
the 1 year anniversary.
It was a 1 year anniversary of her and her husband, but her husband died a year before. So what she wanted to do to honor him and her friends is go down to a local brewery and be with us and share with us and toast with us, because she wanted this conversation and his memory and everything to come alive. And it was so present. It wasn't really about her and her friends, because we had a couple people that were in the general community. But there was such camaraderie.
They're like, what the heck is going on? I thought I showed up to drink beer, but it actually turned into her way of gathering people for a memorial service. And we, like, Stefanie, you provided that platform. It was just super powerful. So like, we know this platform has so much to offer, and it's amazing. Oh, Lisa's here too.
So what we're gonna do right now is every happy hour is different. This one is very different. Little heads up, I've been using Zoom, but today I was getting like fancy on it. I took the basics of Zoom and I was fiddling around, and then my video chat went blank an hour ago. So the fact that you can see, they had time to put on lipstick and be here with all of you is really great. So, so what we're going to do here, I'm going to look through what we're doing right now is I thank you all for showing up, putting things in chat. Please have your chat open. You can kind of get a sense of where people are coming from, Amy's in Long Beach, Jill, and how people are feeling right now, because really why we're doing this happy hour is to keep this conversation and checking in, and be in another community as well. And why this happy hour is, I'm going to just kind of review what people wrote. Sonia is lazy, calm, and just worried. If my family gets a virus, I have a family that still works. Yeah, that's kind of hard. COVID makes me feel anxious. Jill, a little anxious, but I've been enjoying spending time with family and learning new things, definitely. Matt's from Portland. Got some Christina. A lot of gratefuls. That's beautiful. Kayla from Alabama. Kayla, are you in Alabama right now? Where is she on I can't see her. I don't know. I don't see her on my screen. My mom is a nurse, and I live with and watch with my elderly grandmother. A bit terrified. So glad you're with us. TJ from Long Beach. And Lisa's here. Hi there. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to take another break for cheers.
Yes. Cheers.
Now, another reason why this happy hour is unique, not just because it's usually the one Wednesday a month at a local LA brewery. This is a Friday. What it's also different is that we're living in a time of COVID-19. Which evokes a lot of emotions and so on. And this is also a start of a team of us that are going to be doing these TDIF. Do you want to Jill, do you want to type that into the chat box right there? It's a Think Death It's Friday series for all of us. All right. Okay. Layla likes that. Good. It's a little kitschy, but I think you guys can all handle it. So TDIF, it's a series that we're doing to be fun, informative,
Thank
accurate.
Death It's Friday.
Thank Death It's Friday is what we're calling it. So
yeah.
to those that are part of it, Megan, Amber, who else? Megan, Amber, Rocio, Jill, raise your glasses. We're going to be continuing to provide content on a weekly Friday basis. So please keep tuned. We're going to set up a Google form afterwards and making sure that we're providing resources and tools in the way that we want.
I love Megan. She just opened a bottle. Love you, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our team basically is just gonna, I mean, we're all just here to help, like spread education that's like useful and helpful for people like right now. So, you know, things that you can like just use and access for free. And we're just gonna start doing it on Fridays. So thank Death It's Friday. It'll be fun.
Yeah. So as part of any good community is introducing you to each other, to hear your voice in this space. So there's a group of us, but I'm going to kind of say your name and then unmute you, and then kind of give an opportunity to say why you're here, a couple sentences of why you're here and what your beverage of choice is tonight, because it is a happy hour. I want to know, what are you drinking? So I'm going to kind
quick,
of
like 5 seconds.
So
real quick,
but I want to include, now you don't have to participate. You don't have to participate, but I'm going to encourage you to kind of put your voice into the circle this hour right now. But once again, you can skip or whatever. After we do that, then we're going to go into the death deck, which Lisa, who's one of the co-creators. Lisa, you want to kind of shake hopefully you have your death deck nearby. Of course you do. I wasn't going to be like, oh no. So she has that nearby, and we're going to kind of play a little bit with that in terms of other tools and resources we have. So Amy, I'm going to unmute you. If you want to just kind of, Amy Garcia, introduce yourself, why you're here, and what beverage are you drinking?
Hi, I'm Amy. As I said, I'm from Long Beach. I am on this because I'm friends with Amber, who invited me, and I actually work in the funeral industry currently. So I thought this would be interesting to join. And I'm not drinking an alcoholic beverage. It's a bubbly, because I was too lazy to go make a drink.
Okay. So Amy is an embalmer. She's like, I love that she starts with, she's friends with Amber, which is enough, to be here, but she's actually knows a lot about this kind of space that we work in and talking with Death and Dying. So Amy, thank you for being
Cheers,
with
Amy.
us. Cheers, Amy. Okay. I'm going to Rocio.
Hi, everyone. My drink of choice is actually, it's a tea. It's a burdock tea. I wish I had wine, but I don't. So I'm grateful. I've developed this beautiful relationship with Jill. I do healing work with water, and I've always been really interested, and a lot of the work that I do is around consciousness through water. And from the process of being born into this lifetime, the trajectory of our life experience here, and how we choose to exit this reality is very important. And I feel this particular team is doing amazing work, and there's a lot of opportunity and learning and experiencing, and we should basically be shifting culture that is happening right now. So I'm extremely grateful to just share my little piece when, in the best way that I can. So thank you everyone for inviting me and for being here tonight.
Yeah. Thank you, Rocio. So she was part of the deeper dive retreat that was hosted in October and added some real spiritual and reflective movement and in connection with water. So as part of our DDIF, Think Death It's Friday series, we'll be kind of connecting on that way. So hopefully we're going to have some really great connections for a lot of you that are looking for some more information and connection to self, but also community in the death and dying community. Jill, did you want to add anything?
No. Cheers, Rocio.
Cheers. Okay, Jill will be in charge of the cheers.
Yeah.
All right.
I wish I could bring you a glass of wine, Rocio.
Yeah. Julia, go for it.
Hey everybody, I'm Julia Porter. I am the founder of Death Party Philadelphia. We're a community group that meets monthly and have been doing so since 2016. We discuss death and dying adjacent topics that relate to our community and the world around us. And very grateful to be here with you guys. Thank you, Megan and Christina, for the community. Happy to meet some of you guys virtually for the first time, but really happy to be here. So currently drinking a Sauvignon Blanc that I ordered at 9 a.m. this morning to ensure delivery. And it got here, so we're feeling good. So
awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
So nice to put your face to the name. This is kind of neat. Like, yeah. Cheers.
So that's
cheers,
the other
Julia.
thing. Being a community resource, that's kind of what, and connections is so important. So dinner parties, death cafes, death over dinners, this movement of things going on in our local communities. There's ways to start it and be part of it. So glad for representing Philly. And I actually lived there for a few years by the art museum area. And so I really loved it. So glad you're, I didn't put something in there. Okay. Mute you back. All right, Matt, you're up. Okay, go. Sorry.
Hey, there I am. Matt Whitaker, Portland, Oregon. I work as the Director of Integrated Programs at Compassionate Choices, working around end-of-life choice and specifically our consultation programs. Theologian and ethics nerd by background. And I am drinking a kind of old-fashioned, kind of like a little sugar, a little whiskey, a little weird onion, or weird lemon that was in the back of the fridge that I'm not sure about. And it's all together, and super stoked to get to hang out with all of y'all.
Yeah. Matt and I worked together for a few years. He is my supervisor when I worked for Compassionate Choices. And it's one of the relationships as I continue on with colleagues in this space that I'm so fortunate to have people that are so thoughtful and mindful and articulate and compassionate in this space. So Matt, I'm so glad. Thank you for being, and he's a beer drinker and old-fashioned drinker as well. So I'm so glad you're here. And Compassion Choices is one of the organizations that we can talk about later that has some amazing resources that Jill and I, and we use a lot to connect with others. So thanks for being here, Matt.
Yeah, cheers to your apocalypse cocktail.
All right, Layla, you're up.
Hi, everyone. My name is Layla. I'm here because I've been following a few of you guys for quite some time. I'm a student. I'm in the last bit of my bachelor's degree in psychology, but I've applied to attend the University of Maryland in their Master's of Health Science program with a certificate in death, dying, mourning, and aging and applied thanatology. So I worked at 2 funeral homes in my college career, and I found a calling to all of the death work. And so I've just kind of been uncovering where my best fit is in that. So here I am, and I'm drinking a kombucha because I am very pregnant.
Cheers.
Yeah, beautiful.
How far along are you?
I'm doing June, so 27 weeks now.
Oh, get a good birth doula to talk you through this.
It's not my first rodeo, so.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You're very brave.
Oh, beautiful.
And where are you located, Layla?
Long Beach. I'm in Long Beach.
Great.
Great, thank you. Kayla. Oops. Hold on. Okay, there you go, Kayla.
I'm here?
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome. Hi. Hi, nice to meet you all. Obviously, I'm Kayla. I'm from Coleman, Alabama, and I know you've never heard of it. Really nice town.
You're representing all of Alabama, or maybe
represent in the house. Halfway between Huntsville and Birmingham, almost exactly. So if that gives you some reference points.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know that probably doesn't help, but still. And I first heard of Death Doula LA through my mentor, Domino Kirk.
Oh yeah.
Domino. Because I was a fan of the show Girls, so I was following her sister, and then I just wound up following all the siblings, and they're all fascinating and diverse, and I love them. And Domino started doing a mentorship program that I took part in earlier this year. And in one of our last meetings, she mentioned death doula-ing, and I was like, what? And so I started looking up what exactly you do, and I thought maybe it was like grief counseling, helping those who are losing someone. And when I found out that it was for the actual dying and those, I realized that seems like way more up my alley than the birth stuff. So I'm hoping when I can actually get out of the house and get a job to save up enough money for Jill's mentorship and learning more about that, because I'm fascinated by it. I love it. And I'm so excited to be here and to learn more about it and to learn all the differing processes when it comes to death and how to cope, not just with the dying, but those losing people. I mean, I've always thought of death as very beautiful. I don't really, but I can see the anxiety behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Good news is like, we're just going to be like putting this content out, for a while, especially like during the COVID stuff. So soak up what you can. And, this is free content for everybody.
Yeah. And this is just a journey for all of us
in
this space together. I mean, I think, every situation unique. This is definitely one. There's so many aspects for us to evaluate from us personally and professionally,
as a whole.
And so you don't have, I'm giving myself permission, and I'm giving you all permission, if you need it or not, just to go with the flow right now and kind of accept what you can do or can't. Like, that's right. And right now you're here, and cheers to that.
Hey, Steph, can I join in on that? Because I feel passionately about that topic.
Okay, let me mute Megan.
Oh.
I'm just joking. Sorry. Megan and I can give each other a lot of shit. Like, exactly. She can handle it. I can be like, no, Megan, I don't want you to talk now. No.
Thank you. But what I do want to say is, like, we are all called right now to step up with exactly what we've worked on and exactly what we've developed so far. And I think that especially the people that are in this room and the people that are called to this work, we want so much to be excellent and to be the very best, because we know what people deserve and what people are worth. But now is the time to step up with what we have. And I just want to say, like, cheers to being enough.
Fuck yeah. Death warriors.
Cheers to being enough. Here we go.
Seriously, an hour ago, you wouldn't be seeing me on this like live video. You would have been seeing a prettier still picture of me. But like Amber, who I'm going to call on right now, was like a savior in more ways. Like, she can get around, she can work the Zoom thing, and she can also work her way around the kitchen. So I'm going to kind of, along with other things, I'm going to unmute Amber right now.
Okay. Hi, everybody. So I just tell you guys about myself. I'm Amber. I ran Undertaking LA, or co-founded and ran Undertaking LA for the last 5 years. I've been a licensed funeral director for 7. And now I'm working on cooking, which I was thinking today that I realized it's so funny when you're just like, oh, you remember things that you knew a long time ago that you forgot because your brain only has so much room for information. But I was always really interested in aftercare when I went to mortuary school, and I realized that that is what I'm now getting the chance to do. So I'm doing cooking, and I'm trying to focus on grief cooking, essentially. So being present and being mindful when you eat, because I found that a lot of people didn't know what to do with themselves after they had someone that they loved died. And one of the things that you have to do every day to maintain wellness is eating well and taking care of yourself. And so I thought that cooking was a really great way to express artistic creativity, but also in a way that is good for your body, mind, soul. And you can express it. I'm very, actually, like right now, I'm being really careful not to like cuss or say the F word. I'm actually like a super gross sailor kind of person. So I think that's what's so great about cooking, is that cooking can be expressed by any of us in any way, shape, or form. For me, it's that I'm a dirty fucking sailor and I like just put on whatever and I cook and I'm happy and I put on music, but it can be anything for anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm working on a website right now. It's called Mortician in the Kitchen, and that's my little baby. And everything still ties into death and grief and just being mindful and present. Anyways, I'm meandering. I'm a Grandpa Simpson. I think that works, right? That's good.
Yes.
So cheers to Amber.
Cheers.
And I think once again with that is all of that, and it's practical. Like, you know, you need to eat, like I'm gonna, you know, the structure of every day and having it, you know, having these Zoom meetings, having like cooking, like, okay, it's something that you can check off your list and get through the day. Like, okay, whatever you can do. So Amber, thank you for bringing your creativity and your grief and your work.
And your delicious bread.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
she also makes balms, like lip balms and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it came from the fact that like I actually consider myself an artist, but then we only have so much time in the day. And I used to have a life before I was a funeral director where I just spent hours painting, and I'm honestly not a very good painter and I couldn't do anything with it. So the lip balms and the lotion and cooking were all facets of constructive art. Because it was art.
Well, you have a big white wall behind you. I'm like, I think you should go at it. Okay. Yeah.
Everybody, my boyfriend does meetings. He's working from home right now, and everybody always talks about the fact that we have this big white wall. But around the corner, you can't see it. There is a picture, like in one of Amy, who's on here, gave me a really beautiful picture by this artist I love. But I have a wall full of art, but it's a very small wall, and it's just covered with all of my favorite artists. So this is the plain wall.
Okay. Yeah. And Julia did a shout out for you. If you didn't see, she gave your lip balms as Christmas gifts. So if people want to do any COVID-19 gifts, you know, like stay home, keep your lips moist, you can order some of those too.
I'm using chapstick like constantly right now. So.
All right. We got TJ. Thomas, go for it.
Hello. I'm Thomas, but you guys can call me TJ. I'm in my final semester. I'm in my final semester of anthropology at Cal State Long Beach, and I've worked with Jill, Stefanie, Megan, and Rocio before. I helped make the video for the Deeper Dive into Death Retreat, and I'm here today to just kind of see what the people in death care right now are really doing in the face of COVID-19. And I'm also drinking peppermint tea.
Oh, nice. Great, thank you. Yeah, and the one thing, like, I don't know all of you yet, but usually it's kind of good. Cheers, Thomas. What I would do once I get to know all of you now is being like a networker and share, I would like say one thing about all of you, but I don't know all of you personally yet. But TJ, tell them about your class that you had at Long Beach. This still blows my mind that he was part of this class and kind of got started earlier than later. You want to share that class that you were part of in high school?
Sure. Yeah. So in high school, I took a thanatology course. So we just studied different types of death practices. Yeah. And then every semester we would do a very specific.
Does everyone take thanatology now? Like it's run of the mill.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you did, you'll get a TJ out of every class. Like we'd be hooked up.
There's a school in Portland that does thanatology for 8-year-olds that has us come out and speak. And I'm like, oh my gosh, in 10 years, we're going to have such a great flooding of the market. It's going to be amazing.
Oh my God.
All right.
We'll talk.
Thanks, TJ. Yeah, the video is great. We'll definitely be sharing that as a great resource because TJ did a really good capturing the first retreat that we had. All right, Jill McLennan, you're up. Once I unmute you.
Okay.
There you are.
You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm actually from New Jersey. Oh, this is my daughter.
Oh, that timing was great.
Okay, come on. She was supposed to be at our Grammys tonight and decided not to go. So I'm actually in New Jersey, right across the bridge from Philly. So I'm really new to all of this as far as thinking about it professionally. I'm technically a pastry chef. I teach a job training program right now in Camden, where I teach people that are out of the prison system or homeless or in recovery how to work in kitchens and get jobs. So I've been interested in this for about 10 years, but didn't actually learn that there was a thing called a death doula until last summer. And then once I found out, I was obsessed. I was like, okay, that's what I want. Like, I originally had thought I would switch careers to be a hospice nurse, but I didn't really want to be a nurse. So once I found out about a death doula, I've just done nothing but research, and I came across Jill recently, and so that's how I ended up here. And tonight I'm drinking a local brewery called Tonewood, and it's amazing. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Yummy. Cheers, Jill. Good to see your face.
Cheers.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting how everybody comes to this, come to this space, and when they do, and kind of everybody comes to it from a different perspective. And
that's so true.
Yeah. So there's
your origin story as a death worker or like death adjacent. That's so legit.
Yeah. All right. Spooky, it's your turn.
Oh,
Spooky.
Hi everybody. I don't know why it says spooky. It's like so funny. I mean, it is my name, but I'm gonna have to change that. Obviously, I think. Hi everyone. I'm really Betsy Trapasso. Yeah, but I do go by Spooky since I've had it since I was 2 months old. And my last name means to die. So I think I just was determined to do this or destined to do this. So I'm in Los Angeles, and I've just been doing end of life for over 30 years. So
you're a nomad, though. I mean, you're based in LA, but your presence and how you get around is special.
You're never in town, girl. You're never in town.
Well, you want to know what's so funny? I literally was supposed to start touring with Amma Karunamai, like the day she was going to fly from India to here, she canceled.
Yeah.
So she was going to be doing her US tour. So I was going to be the spiritual guru again, the spiritual roadie to the guru. But I was going to only do 2 months and continue to do death. And it's really ironic because what I was going to do this year was a podcast. And I will do it, interviews with the influential, but it was going to get politicians talking about end of life issues during the elections to get everyone talking about end of life. And look what happened. Like everyone's talking about end of life. Remember I told you at the meeting I'm going to do the podcast and interview them to get it into the consciousness this year, because there's so many amazing death doulas now, and you guys are all amazing, and people are doing so much work, and I love that everyone is in this and doing this. So I'm like, okay, let's bring end of life into the national conversation. So
I'm ready for that podcast.
You're outside.
Yeah, I'm like, I've got to get outside. But I'm having my Americano. But also what I think I'm going to do.
I love only you can drink an Americano like at this time. And I would be like wired forever.
Yeah, but I started 30 years ago. So I love seeing just everyone coming into it, all different avenues of it. But I'm going to be doing a podcast also, I think, about just all the systems that this is showing that are failing in the US, because I also have an MSW and worked in hospitals and hospices and everything. Ooh. And all the systems that are failing us, right? And point out to the Americans, like, just what's happening. The equipment's not there, kids need food, right? Just going to be doing a lot of interviewing experts about how when we come out of this, the changes that desperately are needed in the US to help everyone through it too. But bless all of you. I'm so excited to see everybody and meet everybody, and you guys are all amazing.
Good, thank you.
We love you. Oh my gosh, there's like more than one adorable animal. Like, looks like Sonia's cat just walked in front of her. That was so cute. And Amber's cat, Denny, is here now too.
All right.
I love it.
Sonia, thanks, go for it. Sonia, you're on.
Hi, I'm from East LA, and I came across this because of Rocio. I know she had to log off.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been doing water work with her.
Oh, beautiful.
So I noticed that she was starting to partner up with the death, and I was just it's just curiosity, you know, because my upbringing of death is very traumatic, and so I just want to see like another perspective.
That's great.
That's why I'm here. Yeah.
Thanks, Sonia. What are you drinking? Are you drinking anything?
I found this in my husband's collection.
Oh, did you get permission or no?
Well, he's like, that looks like mine. I was like, yeah, I know. It's the brewery down here in LA, LA Works, and it's Palmera Pills, jasmine rice, something.
It's always so fancy here. It's a jasmine. Is it good? Are you like, is it like a sake-ish kind of beer? Or is it
like pretty like, I don't know, like a little bitter, but it's okay. I need bitter in my life right now.
Oh, right. We don't.
Oh my gosh. I hope that you can like, because Rocio is going to be like doing like all this content with us. I hope that the content will help you like explore whatever you're curious about death-wise. We're always happy to like answer your questions and help you out. That's so cool. Nice to meet you, Sonia.
Yeah, and culturally, we always have to be sensitive in space where people are coming through from death and dying, because that's really deep-seated. And I don't think we're going to have time for this question, but one of the other questions I had for you was, if you were to just, you can ponder on this when you wake up in the middle of the night, like 2 or 3 a.m., what would somebody respond? But what would your grandparent or elder in your life that has since died think about you being on this death overdraft happy hour call? Like, seriously. So just kind of think about that with your ancestors and knowing everything about, like, would they be like, what? Like, we don't talk about this. We don't talk about sex, you know, politics and death.
Yeah, don't be rude. Don't talk about any of those.
Yeah, you know, that's
So
morbid.
rude.
Like, why are you talking about it? Stick to life. Death isn't that great. Like, what would they respond? So I'm leaving you. That's a thought like later on, because I really want to get to some of the death deck stuff. But that's just a kind of like thinking about our ancestors and where we come from, the space of ritual or, you know, fear or death or not talking about it. We all come with that. So thank you for sharing, Sonia. All right, Crystal, you're up.
Hi, everybody. I'm Crystal. I'm worked with Stefanie and Matt at Compassionate Choices for a while. My background is actually in journalism and audio and a little bit of podcasting. So I've talked to Betsy about what she's trying to do. I've worked with Lisa and Lori with the Death Deck to do a pilot of a podcast where we talk about death and dying in a not just a lighthearted way, but it's sort of a normalizing way, which I think is really important right now to you know, and it's great. I mean, in a way, like you were saying, Betsy, that it is on people's minds now. It is at the forefront. So this is a good time for all of that. I've been working with an organization called Lantern that is online. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Christina
it's
has.
a death and dying kind of clearinghouse. Yeah. And so I've been doing some writing for them. And I've also been working on the board with immigrants in Tijuana. I am actually part of a hotline now that is working to get information to people who need it. And so I'm really passionate about that, the sort of role of information referral that goes along with journalism, I guess, in what we're trying to do. So I'd love to try to start something like that with Lantern, because I think that's kind of the next step for them. So I'm really excited to meet all of you and talk to all of you. And I'm drinking really cheap Malbec. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, Crystal. Thank you so much for your first responder type stuff. Like, that's what people need now more than ever. Not even kidding you. Like,
yeah, crisis text line. It's really with the work in Los Angeles and greater LA, the crisis text line is really up in front of being there for people in this kind of anxiety-ridden time. So cheers to you and to your work.
Thank
you. So thank you. Okay, Christina, you're up. Wait. Okay,
I got it. We good?
Okay. Yes, you're good. We're good.
Okay, fantastic. It's so good. I just had to get I was just like, Rob, who's my boyfriend, I was like, Rob, get me a pen. I have so many notes I got to jot down. And like, I've been writing down all of these things that I wanted to say. So first of all, it's amazing to be here. I'm friends with some of you, fangirls of another few of you, and can't wait to meet the rest of you. My name is Christina from Vancouver, BC, so up in Canada, like on the left-hand side to keep it super easy. Left-hand side of Canada, and I am the owner of a company called New Narrative Memorials. And so I have an events background in a variety of roles, like sales, planning, vendors, et cetera, et cetera. And when my uncle died 3 years ago, who would actually be friggin' pumped that I am doing something like this and am here and jazzed.
Jazz fingers?
Exactly, like speaking with all of you. After he died, I was working alongside the funeral directors and realized that there was a big gap in the market for event planning for people who were supporting families doing their own memorial events outside of the funeral home, because not everybody feels either comfortable or sometimes the funeral home is too small, and so they'll need an event planner's kind of expertise and guidance. So I've worked with several families and am now shifting my attention to virtual memorials. As you can see, that's
surprising. Why now?
Because
sorry, Christy. I kind of know you, but yes. Okay.
Well, okay. So first of all, like I have a network and a lot of people who I know that have some amazing talents, and I was just thinking how best I can be of a resource to funeral directors and families. And I think right now more so funeral directors, even though they've seen me as a competition in the past, I can now swoop in and be like, hey, I'm a millennial. I know how to use Zoom. I can help you not only like retain your client, like, death and die. Like, I know that this is sensitive material and subject matter, but at the end of the day, it's like, I can help you not only with your business, but to create these inclusive environments for families and make sure that they feel supported while you feel supported, and like just tips to bring elements of these physical events and in-person events into a virtual space. So I've been working with Noah at Gathering Us. I'm currently working with my colleagues Allie and Rochelle from LifeWeb 360 to do some comprehensive guides for funeral directors and families of like how to host one, things you need to consider, things that you should follow up with families about afterwards. And yeah, if anybody's interested in that, I'll have a link later. It's been very interesting, and I know in BC specifically, I think they've banned, is it 10 people? I know that they have no events with more than 50 people, but I think they've just reduced that to 10 people. So
yeah, that's in California. Yeah,
we're being quite proactive here in Vancouver, and so because of these restricted
in Philadelphia, it's 10 people too.
Yeah, a friend of mine was like, she's a funeral director, and was like, I just did a green burial yesterday with 2 people, and I did a church funeral with only 4 people, and it's like, holy shit. Like, thinking about ways that we can keep families involved and connected, and then kind of give them, for lack of a better phrase, give them something to do in the meantime until we can get ready to convene again. So like that's where my head's at.
This idea of ritual, like support and ritual, or what we're used to doing, is really challenging. And so I know that's something in the coming weeks we'll talk about. What does that look like now? Absolutely. What can be offered? What, Sean just wrote in there about, no gatherings ordered, just ordered. So I think it's really going to be for us in the coming weeks to really be resourceful in this way, and in partnership with organizations, agencies that, we're adaptable, we're flexible here. Not everybody else is. And I think that's the way to kind of stay open to it. I mean, right now it's the idea of being flexible and open versus, I stay on top of National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization, right? And seeing what, part of it, they were doing advocacy efforts in terms of what people can get in terms of protection for their employees. So I think for all this is, how are we going to work with the community, with all different organizations, and of service. And so thank you for kind of, how are we going to be doing that? And, you know, what are our skills? Like going back to what Megan said earlier, like what are our skills that we can show up right now? Mine with Zoom or like, but like just, and I mean, I'll bring a glass, like I'll drink with you anytime.
You so hard earlier. It was so funny.
Yeah. So anyways, I just want to keep track of time. We have 15 minutes late. What we're going to do, we're going to continue on now. We have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 more people. Look, people are keep on joining. That's great. I'm going to, we're going to get through this. And then I'm going to kind of end with Lisa and kind of have her, just to give you a heads up, Lisa, I'm doing this as part of the agenda. I'm so fluid, aren't I? So we're going to get through with the rest of this. And then I'm going to end with Lisa to talk about the death deck and what a tool that is for us right now. And so she's going to stay prepared to answer, to kind of talk about the death deck and maybe showcase a card. So
yeah, and still take your time saying hello, because we do want to know everybody who's here.
Oh yeah, who's on their first drink still? Because I'm on my second.
I've like been not letting even my glass go down. So
okay,
it's been a bottomless situation.
Okay. Kevin, you're on with your fun background, your Art Deco background wallpaper or whatever.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, vintage wallpaper. I have no relevant credentials to speak of, so I'll be brief. I'm just a friend and fan of Amber's, and I am exactly this bored and / I don't know, hungry for random knowledge. I saw her open invite, so I just hopped on for funsies. I haven't been drinking lately though, so I've got LaCroix.
Awesome. Thanks, Kevin. And I want to say one of the reasons why we started these Deaf Overdraft happy hours at different breweries is to kind of get it out there. Is even if it was just that are in this space talking about it, I'm talking to the bartenders, we're talking to the servers, is like getting everybody involved. And so don't discount yourself for being here. Like I'm just a friend, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good.
I am dying. I am dying, but it's very slow. I've probably got maybe 40 or 50 years.
Yeah. So, but I think the idea of having family members to support or whatever. Side note: I was doing the death deck with my family, and it didn't go as well as I expected. Because usually I'm doing the death deck all the time with happy hour. I'm like, oh yeah, I can facilitate this. It's all good. I got so angry and frustrated. Sorry, Lisa. But because I know more, like they were shooting out hypotheticals of like, I want this to do. I'm like, I can't give you that. Like, give me the truth of what you want. And so it's always good to have other family and friends and colleagues around to kind of help support when you can't necessarily have the right conversations.
Oh my God, you should have seen me when I like locked everybody into it on Thanksgiving last year. I was like, we are doing this. And like, it got weird, but we got through it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Kevin, thank you for being here and supporting Amber and joining us misfits or cool kids. Are we cool? Yes. Do I get some head shakes that we're cool? Or do we care if we're cool? I don't know. I mean, are we cool? Are we cool or do we not care if we're cool or not? Like, what is it?
That is cool.
Okay.
That is cool.
Okay. All right. Sam, you're up. Sam Cooper.
Hi. I am from Pittsburgh here, and I'm drinking water.
So, Sam, I'm going to ask you also to chat in the box because you're
here, and I'm one of the core members of Pittsburgh Community Deaf Care.
Sam, I'm writing in the chat box because your connection is a little bad.
Sorry.
No, it's not you. It's not you. It's us. Okay. So Sam, I'm going to have you write in the chat box because I heard Pittsburgh. Yeah. Sorry, Sam. So I'm going to ask you to write in the chat box. You see that? So everybody can get to know you right now because it is a little spotty. Okay. Okay, so Sam's going to write in the chat box. There she is, practicing death doula. So we have colleagues, friends all over. Thank you.
Yay! Cheers to you.
Are you drinking anything special, or it doesn't matter if you're drinking anything special? Are you intaking any beverages right now? Sam,
how hydrated are you, Sam? Are you hydrated?
That's drink your water. You know what? Heads up to water. I think do I have my water with me?
There are some responsible people here.
Yeah, drinking water. That's important too. All
Not
right,
me,
thanks, Sam,
not
for being
today.
here, Sam. All right, Sean, you're up.
Hi, my name's Sean. I'm the founder and owner of DIY Dying. I am a certified death midwife and a licensed funeral director here in Los Angeles. I've been in the funeral industry since 2006. And I got onto the advanced death planning and sitting with the dying as a result of my brother's passing. And I'm on the Green Burial Council Board, so if anyone has questions about green burial, I'd be happy to help. I do full body burials at sea, memorial reefs, and space flight, sending your ashes to the moon. And I'm so happy to be a part of this.
Yay! John was at our live, our last at Phantom Carriage in Long Beach, California event. How was that compared to this, Sean?
I think this is just as cool, from the comfort of your home. And it's good to see all these faces too. This is a bigger crowd than the one that we had last, but that was a small venue. So this is really nice.
It gets bigger and bigger every single time we do it. And I don't even know what this digital platform is going to provide, but it's cool. Stefanie is brilliant.
Yeah, it's the wave of the future.
Here we are. We're going to the moon. All right. I have a Sam. Thanks, Sean. Thanks so much for being here. She's a wonderful resource. So thank you so much, Sean. Okay. I'm Samsung. I don't have your name. I don't know. Is there somebody on Samsung?
It looks like a cell phone.
Is somebody just on cell phone?
Yeah.
Is it me?
Oh yeah, it is you, Megan. Oh good. So we have one less person. Perfect. Thanks, Megan. So Megan,
cool.
Do you want to?
I thought you just skipped me. I thought you were being so mean. I thought you skipped my name.
No. We're all in different places. No, I'm Megan. I'm not going to say
Megan gone yet?
Megan, it's your turn. Megan, it's your turn. Go.
It's your turn.
Go.
I am Megan Carmichael. I am based in Ventura, California. I am a colleague of Stefanie and Jill. I helped them coordinate the most recent Deeper Dive into Death 3-day retreat that we hosted in Tahoe, California, that is being hosted again in 2020. I am, as I say, my business coach says that I am involved in too many things. That's what I do for work. I have a hard time saying no. So I do a weekly newsletter that is about talking to kids about death. I also run a private cremation scattering garden in the Mojave Desert, and I am licensed to sell advanced funeral planning. So I am way too scattered. I'm not focused. And I am drinking, guys, I don't really drink that often, especially not at home. So I am drinking guest wine. I'm drinking some Francis Coppola Cabernet. I don't really like Cabernet, but it's fancy, so I'm enjoying it. So cheers and thanks to all.
And
it's what you got.
And she's got a gallery going on behind her, which I love, with her children. And Megan, one of her focuses is really like how to talk to children about death. And so I think that's kind of an important role, especially just in general when she's going through an experience with her parents about death and dying and how to meeting children where they're at, especially during COVID-19.
I'm excited about those. That was we're going to put it all up on the YouTube, but Megan, the kids stuff, a lot of parents are going to be like, oh my God, help us now.
And just don't get Megan started about Frozen 2, because don't.
My kids are watching Onward. Now Onward, if anybody has $20.
That's a group drink. Amazon. They said Frozen True. It's time to drink.
Froze again. All right.
Okay.
Cheers. I'm muting myself.
Great. And now we have Samsung. My name is. Oh, I have somebody. I'm muting you. Oops. Oh, wait. Hi, I hear you, but there's a lot of.
Yeah.
Okay. What? I think Stephanie's mic got caught on a loop. And I just have to laugh because that's like the universe right now. Okay. Stephanie's muted. And I don't have any other kind of control.
Okay. So basically what happened, there was somebody my name is Kay, that's on Samsung. And
don't call them out.
No, that's the name on the title on her. My name is, but she hasn't spoken yet. So I see someone who has not spoken. Please write in the chat box. Yes, you're waving your hand, and that's where the phone got crazy. So can you just write in the chat box instead? Because when I unmuted you, that's when I had my
Corey. I think it's Corey.
Corey. I always see Samsung. Oops, my name is Kay. Can you write in the chat box? Do you see the chat box? Can you write in it? Oh, my name is Corey. It says her name is Corey. Corey.
Okay. Well,
Corey. Okay. Hi,
we'll
Corey.
just move.
Okay.
Corey, we love you. We're just gonna move forward.
Thanks, Corey. Okay. Cheers. There's always technical difficulties. Okay. What time is it? I don't have the time anymore.
It's 5:55.
Okay. Great. Lisa.
I know you're all really busy.
Yes. Lisa's unmuted. She has a great laugh. She's going to talk a couple minutes, do a chat. The only thing I want to end with is one little poem at the end. But Lisa, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Shake your head, yes. Yeah? Okay, good.
Okay. My computer apparently is full, which feels like my life. And so I have to delete a bunch of stuff to be able to do Zoom. Now I sound really old. To use Zoom on my computer, but right now it's on my iPhone. So, hi, I'm Lisa. I am one of the co-creators of the Death Deck. And so, yes, the Death Deck. So I currently work as a hospice social worker, and I work in the ER as a social worker as well. I'm still doing those jobs and am finding it incredibly challenging right now. And have been struggling with how to continue the Death Deck in this moment of time. Lori and I decided.
Who's Lori?
Lori's my co-creator, who I met when I was her hospice social worker for her husband, Joe, 11 years ago. So her and I together created the Death Deck as a tool to get people talking about end-of-life wishes in a more fun, engaging, normalizing way. And so it's been so much fun, and we've gained a lot of momentum and have been presenting at conferences and had several on the dock that are now postponed. But it's been incredible. It's been incredible to work in hospice and the ER and be doing these things on a more macro level. So where we're at now is trying to figure out how do we not pitch our product, because that it's just finding this balance, right? Like it feels gross and insensitive to be too strong, and yet it feels not the right tone to just be doing nothing. So we're finding that balance. So here we are now. And yes, I'll share it later when I can access. Sean's suggesting that we add it in this chat, and
She meant just show the Death Deck, not like Not like actually show. I did the same thing. I'm like, Sean, at this point, I'm not showing the she meant like, right?
I'm on my iPhone, Sean. Come on. I love you, Sean. Okay.
But she meant the death deck. They show it. Yeah.
So the death deck has been, I'll just move on to the death deck. My personal struggle is working in this space right now and still working with patients and families is incredibly stressful. And so trying to balance putting out great content for the death deck and being in this space, we've been juggling, but we're working on it with you all as well.
Yeah. So what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. So, oh, look, Crystal showing it. Her face turned into a death deck. Look at where's Crystal's face? It's now a death deck.
Oh my God, you're so cute.
So once again, the way we can use this virtually, what I was hoping that we would get with this time, but I really wanted you guys, thank you all for sharing your voice and where you're coming from in this space. It's kind of like the first question I asked. It kind of is kind of a kitschy way of beginning conversations earlier than just advanced care, healthcare directive questions, really getting to know people, knowing family, friends in a different way, right, Lisa? Is that kind of what it is?
Yes.
And so I think there's definitely different ways. I would have had, if we had more time, I would have had Lisa ask one of these questions and then have her call on somebody else to answer it and move forward on that in a virtual space. So we could
Can I throw some 2 cents in how I use it as a funeral and death focused individual, using it with my friends and family? Actually kind of think of it like Candyland. And if you're a parent, you know what I mean, which is you kind of keep the cards that you want to play back, and you throw them in. You say like, okay, I'm going to be the dealer for Candyland, right? I'm going to be the dealer for Death Deck. I know what I need to know from the people in the room. And this is just one of many tools. It's not a be all end all. It's not a gift I would give someone and say, hey, go run your own thing with this. It's a way that I, having been through it on a personal level, it's a way that I can use it to say, this is exactly what I want to know, and I'm going to run it.
Yeah. It could be potential down the road that this is something that we do in this group as part of our Thank Death It's Friday series. This is a place where you don't have to kind of be concerned, right, Lisa? We're
right.
like-minded individuals of how we do it in outside. I know it's a struggle. Like, wow, Lisa gave this powerful Facebook post or LinkedIn about how she just can't hug the family she's working with right now, whose loved ones are dying. Wow, like you just want to embrace. And so it's so challenging to even get to this next level of just compassion versus just like, oh, what do you really need to know? So I think it's very, very delicate.
It feels very delicate right now. It feels very much like, wanting to give people another tool as people are holed up in their place and as death is more prominent for us, right? But it's forefront and center. And yet we also want to not be, our game is in some ways is very playful. And like Megan was saying, we encourage people to stack the deck so that you can pick out the questions that work best for your environment. And so, but it is, again, it's this specific time and place and trying to figure out how do we, give people this tool at this time. And I mean, we had so much fun at the last,
we did.
Our Death Over Drafts, and I think that there's so many opportunities for these conversations. And again, just trying to sort it out. So the questions are multiple choice.
Oh, there you go.
Where am I? I can't even see because I'm on my iPhone. But anyway, we have multiple choice and open-ended questions. It's a great tool to start these conversations. And again, at this moment in time, the Death Deck, we're trying to continue to provide content and just trying to sort out my own personal reaction, continuing to to work with these families and figure out how to create content that's meaningful for people without coming across insensitive. So that's actually in our death work communities. I would love, like, this is what I'm looking for us to collaborate on. How do we delicately approachable I love what you guys are creating, of course, with the
you think Death is Friday? Do you think that will resonate with everybody? I don't know. It resonates for us. Yeah.
It'll resonate with us. I don't know how to reach. This is where I'm at right now. I don't know how to reach the masses appropriately right now.
Right. So I think right now we're continuing to build our own community, sharing the tools, sharing the resources, have compassion, holding space for everybody.
But Steph, I think right here, I think that I'm having a lot of conversations with people in this industry. I mean, I think we called it, can this be the topic for next Friday? How do we as death care professionals have a conversation in a crisis where in my state, like 80 people have died? Like death and this crisis aren't exactly aligned. And so Lisa, I'm with you. I mean, I've got many newsletters ready to go, fully edited, ready to send, and I can't push send on them because now's not the right time.
I know.
Right. So what we'll do is we'll send a Google chat to a lot of you. Not Google chat, excuse me. A Google form of like, what do you need to answer? Like, what's your hot topic right now? And look at how we can present on this and hold space for those conversations, because we need to do it for each other as we're going out there being for others, or not able to be out there for others because people aren't ready or scared or fearful or whatever it is. So I think it just heightened. I mean, for me, it's just more of a heightened of our normal, how we sit in this world as it is. In terms of the death and dying conversation. So you have to be extra sensitive. I was on a call with a woman yesterday saying that I was wanting to work with and talk about. I'm like, oh, I'm hosting a death overdraft happy hour. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll continue to drink my tea. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I need to end this call on a happy note, because I don't want to leave this like I'm throwing out death to her and she's in her 60s and she's isolated and alone and she's like not working as much. And I'm like, holy shit, how do I turn this conversation around? Because I don't want her getting off the phone with me, because it's like I take everything personally. Like, I don't want to make her feel bad because I'm like, oh, death, yeah. And I'm not. Like, but I want to hold space for her. So I was like, how do I turn this around? Go, hey, you know what? At this time, what are some TV shows or books that you're reading that I could, share with me? What are you going? She's like, oh, I don't really read anymore. Like, help me out. She's like, I don't really read anymore. I'm getting tired and bored of reading. And I'm like, oh my God, please let me end on a positive note. And then she's like, oh yeah, there's some TV shows on PBS that I really like. And she's like, oh, I'm like, oh, what are those about? And so she was sharing the TV shows of what she can do and what she likes. And I'm like, oh my God. So we ended the call on a positive note to meet her where she's at, knowing that I could do this other stuff, but that wasn't working for her right now. So it's kind of, how do we, it's the constant of what we do, showing up for what people like, ending the conversation on a joy, positive note, like, thank you. She knew she had something to offer me. So I think there's balance in that, Megan. I don't know if that resonated for anybody, but like, how do you have conversations and meet people where they're at and leave it on a note where they don't feel like, being realistic? So Jill, I don't know if you want to respond to that as well.
Honest is honest. And at the end of the day, if you're honest with people about the situation and the best way to help them, I don't think that's earth shattering in any way. Like, I think just saying like, look, I know this is really terrible, so here's the best way how to get through it and how to get it done, and I'm here to help you.
Yeah. So we are a few minutes over. Once again, I don't know if you guys have any of your drink left. You guys are all beautiful. Thank you all for being here and being present for yourself. Oops, let me get out of here. present for each other. I wanted to end, one of the things I also gonna leave you with is, if you want to write in the chat books as we close up here, what are some resources or tools that have been helpful for you at this time? If you just like one word, one website, one person, like comedy, like whatever it is, please just add in the website, in the chat box. What is one thing? Resource therapists definitely understand that. You'd have thank you for that. You have to have somebody neutral to talk to. I think that's so relevant right now. So write something in there about, share with us what's worked for you. Give us some hope. What's in it for you that's working for you? Bannister Advisors has amazing forum for prepping and announcement hospital. So right. So if it's functional, so thank you for that, Christina. Like something that's functional in this space. We're going to record, all this is being recorded in chat so we can kind of filter through it. And hopefully all this stuff we're going to be recording and putting it onto a potentially YouTube channel.
Yeah, it'll be all on a YouTube channel. We're just like coming together to produce free content, and we'll be inviting like our friends and anyone who wants to kind of join and just give what we can to the public right now. People need information about death now.
So, but whatever you want, please in the group chat right now, fill in what's giving you hope, what's making you laugh, what's something, thank you, like whatever is working for you right now. You go ahead and do that. I'm going to kind of read this final poem. You might have heard this last week because it was going around. Disclosure, I'm Jewish. Okay. I'm not religious, but I know what? I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. I'm in a Jewish mindfulness group, all of that kind of stuff. So we pull tools from different directions. And there's a poet last week that kind of and you don't have to be whatever resonates for you. And since I'm facilitating this, I'm going to share with you because I can. Lynn Unger, who's a poet from San Francisco. It's called Pandemic, is another one that kind of went around. And since it's Friday night and Shabbat and an opportunity, and I had another colleague who was like, I'm doing Shabbat tonight, not being with you. I'm like, come on, happy hour Shabbat. No. So this is what I'm going to share with you. It's called Pandemic. What if you thought of it as the Jews consider the Sabbath, the most sacred of times? Cease from travel, cease from buying and selling. Give up just for now on trying to make the world different than it is. Sing, pray, touch only those to whom you commit your life, center or down. And when your body has become still, reach out with your heart. Know that we are connected in ways that are terrifying and beautiful. You can hardly deny it now. Know that our lives are in one another's hands. Surely that has come clear. Do not reach out your hands. Reach out with your heart. Reach out with your words. Thank you all for being part of this happy hour. Cheers. Jill still has her glass up.
Cheers.
We'll be here on Fridays for you, with and for you. Thank you guys. Thank you for sharing yourselves and showing up.
We're going to keep showing up for you. So if you want to keep showing up, you can.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Be well.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.
Steph, are you going to close the meeting or?